Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into round number 11 of the 2018 MotoOption Supercross Series, live here on Start Your Systems TV. And tonight is going to be an interesting night of racing. I can tell you that much because I'm about to actually show you why tonight's going to be an interesting night of racing. We are in St. Louis this week, but I'm going to go ahead and we're going to throw it back to Daytona for just a quick second, and I'm going to talk you guys through something here. But yeah, hopefully you guys can see the stream. Everything is good to go. It is showing as connecting on my end, but it seems like it's up and running. So yeah, hopefully that all sorts out. We're going to load into Daytona, and I'm going to break down something that is kind of monumental series-wise that happened last week. That has now kind of carried over a little bit, unfortunately. So hopefully this loads in soon enough. Daytona is very physically taxing on a computer for some reason. Any day it's going to load up now. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. While it is loading up and we are getting this sorted, I'll go ahead and take you guys through our top qualifying times. The 250 heats are about to come up. Should be starting any moment now, actually, but we'll load into that in just a second. I want to break this down first before we get any further so that everybody knows what is happening. But of course, my game is just loading so slowly. There we go. All right, so here we are. Daytona main event last week. I'm going to stick on Leclerc here for a second. We're going to skip forward in the race. Skip forward, skip forward, skip forward, skip forward, skip forward, skip forward. Deeper, deeper, deeper into the race. So Alexis Leclerc last week at Daytona ended up finishing 10th. Unfortunately for his case, he was dealing with Jesse Mullins most of the evening, and this incident right here, has now changed the landscape of racing this weekend because Jesse Mullins illegally re-entered the track right there, was protested by Alexis Leclerc, and has now been suspended for tonight's racing in St. Louis. You could take this for what it is. You could be mad about it. It was an illegal track re-entry. He got up sideways into the track and ended up pretty close-ish to the middle of the track. I know he was still on the left side of the track, but that is, by rule, an illegal track re-entry. He got the penalty that comes from this. I know some people will probably believe that he was penalized due to his aggressive passes on Leclerc, but unfortunately this has now taken Mullins out of the race at St. Louis, which we will now load into and see where we are going from here. So unfortunately, no Mullins out there tonight. That essentially brings us down to just two championship contenders. Alexis Leclerc, your points leader, and 4 points back of him, Colton Mitchell. A little bit more information on that whole situation last week. We saw a lot of the aggressive block passing between Leclerc and Mullins, going back and forth a little bit, Mullins being mostly the aggressor there. Leclerc actually protested Mullins 7 times this past week. 5 of them were deemed no penalty. 1 of them was deemed a warning. That was the last aggressive pass we saw Mullins put on that was on the stream. And then, of course, that track re-entry eventually resulted in Mullins getting a 1-week suspension. The EMF crew actually listed that they had debated on giving him a 2-week suspension. Given the severity of the takeout, they could have warranted a 1-week suspension for that as well. Thought better of it and only gave him the 1-week suspension. And that is where we are now, going into St. Louis tonight. And I hope I didn't miss too much or any of this 250 race. All right. It looks like they have actually already just got underway with 250 heat number 1. Sorry. There we go. So 250 heat number 1 is on the track. I apologize for missing the start, but I felt like I really actually needed to cover that Leclerc and Mullins situation, because if you didn't actually see what had happened there, you probably wouldn't understand why it warranted a suspension. But here it is, 250 heat number 1 on the track now in St. Louis, and your current race leader, Josh Williams, on the number 96 Evergood machine, has a pretty substantial lead going already, battling for For second is Ivan Medina and Garrett Hollenbeck. Hollenbeck, we saw have a tremendous ride at the beginning of the season. He climbed all the way up into the top 10 at Dallas. Oh, they're both down together. And the 176 trying to get in there almost clipped the back of Hollenbeck as they get going. How about Brett Powers? He's getting into the mix. Going through these rhythm sections, these 250Fs kind of struggling with that there. They're not able to get that 3 in as cleanly. If you guys need the game turned up, in fact, that just reminded me I should turn the game up. Let's do that and that. So here we are, St. Louis. So Powers in 4th, Hillman gets up to 5th, Neil Wells is in 6th. Daniel Batchelot 7th, Hinters 8th, Silic 9th, then we got Gatlin, Lang, Ohashi, your defending champion Connor Holiak, Edward Mora, Dylan Copeland, Lee Bradley, Noah Baker, Caden Speck, and only 18 guys started this one. Final transfer spot being held down by Dylan Gatlin. Oh, Gatlin gets taken out by Lang, but Lang ends up being the one on the deck. Oh, and then Holiak, trying to swing around the outside, ends up going down himself as well. So all those guys are going to need to reset. Let's head back up front. We see Williams has got this thing comfortably away right now. Behind him is Medina, then Hollenbeck. Powers has Batchelot swinging around the outside and making that pass stick on him. So Batchelot getting the pass done on Powers. Owen Hillman, Jeremy Hinters, and Silic all kind of locked together here. I think we'll see on this track tonight these 250 guys experimenting a little bit more. They're not quite able to get as similar lines that the 450 guys seem to get on this track. Right here I talked about it. Not many guys able to triple in, whereas the 450 guys, most of them should be tripling in, as Hinters is going to go for an inside move on Hillman and gets it. So Hillman's going to try to fight back. Meanwhile, Silic is still right with these guys, and they're not too far off of Hollenbeck. We'll look at Hinters alongside Donut MX's Brett Powers and makes that pass stick, but here is Hollenbeck, and actually Batchelot's still right in front of him. Thought it might have been Williams that crashed back to him. So Batchelot holds down 3rd. Medina is all alone in 2nd. How about your race leader right now? Josh Williams. He's looking comfortable. No pressure from behind. Got the lead and got away early and is running good, consistent laps right now. So Williams leads from Medina, Batchelot, Hollenbeck. Now Silic, he moves up into the 5 spot, as Powers and Silic both able to get back around Jeremy Hinters. Oh, Powers gets a kick, but whoa. What in the world just happened? That was weird. I don't know if that was my issue or not. Unfortunately, that just lagged the game out. I'm not sure what just happened there. Yeah, it looks like other people also getting that lag as well. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect and reconnect real quick just so I don't miss out on what's going on with the transfer spots, because it's surely going to get confusing. So Williams is still leading. I'm sorry, this is going to be crazy. So Williams is still leading this thing. Medina is in 2nd. Batchelot is squeaking by in 3rd. Hollenbeck in 4th. Now Hinters up to 5th ahead of Silic, Gatlin, and Powers. And then Lang, I believe, holds down your final transfer spot. Yes, he does. So Tyler Lang on the 71 MV Films machine. Behind him, looked like maybe his teammate. No, not sure what. Oh, I saw something that looked like him. Owen Hillman, and then Connor Holiak, and Holiak is bringing his teammate Edward Mora. Both of them not wanting to miss, as Holiak lays it down and then gets put on the deck as Mora was trying to squeak by, and then Mora crashes as Hillman was actually off the track, so that's going to open up a lot of time for these guys to have some room to breathe as Powers jumps off the track. Fortunately, as it turns out, to not land on Brett Powers, and then the 134 is a lapper. He is down, and Lcq gets together with Hillman. Lcq is going to get up sideways here. He's got to be careful. That would have been an illegal track re-entry, but he did not hit anybody, so fingers crossed he doesn't get protested. So right now, final transfer spot is Lcq. Dylan Gatlin was the rider down in front of Hollenbeck, and Hollenbeck is going to get down the inside and make that pass stick. They're both chasing Brett Powers ahead of them on that red Honda. Looks like Mora has gone into your final transfer spot. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I have this all backwards. It's still Lcq in the final transfer spot. They will get the white flag next time by, as your race leader, Josh Williams, has already received the white flag. So Lcq is just trying to hang on as Hillman is putting on a charge, and he actually got this rhythm section clean, so he is going to close up onto the back wheel here. Let's see if he can do anything with it. Oh, he's struggling through that rhythm section. Actually lost a little bit of time, so Lcq gets a little bit of breathing room to work with for the moment. Head back up front for just a quick second as Williams has gone down with the race lead. Is he going to cough up the victory here? Here comes Medina tripling into the section. He's going to go 3-3, and he's going to get right to Williams for the lead. Oh, he almost had him, but Williams takes the victory. Medina ends up second. I think he was playing it safe there. So back to Hillman and Lcq. Lcq actually up to 8, so we've lost somebody. Gatlin went out. Oh, Mora lays it down, and Gatlin just... Oh, and Lcq is down. Lcq, who was in the last transfer spot, goes down, so now it is Gatlin. Gatlin has to try to hang on. Only 9 go to the main event, and Gatlin is in that transfer spot, but here comes Mora. 3-3, and he gets on by, triples into the corner, and with a last corner pass, Edward Mora is going to the main event. Gatlin is probably kicking himself there. Lcq, Baker, Copeland, Ohashi, Speck. Not sure what Holiak is doing there. He's not on the same lap as these guys. He ended up a lap down in 16th. So really not too sure what was going on with Holiak there. He is not going through. Neither is Copeland, Ohashi, Speck, Bradley, Wells. And that was it. 18 guys started this heat race. All right, while we load into 250 heat number 2, want to give a big shout out to all of the sponsors here. First of all, we got to give a huge thank you to Versus PC, versuspc.com. Please go check them out, helping you out with anything that you need for your computer, parts or build-wise. They are there to help you, give you advice, and also have a great selection for you to choose from. And of course, they are a huge help. Could not do this broadcast without the help of Versus PC this year. They've made this stream a million times better than it was before. I promise you that much. So please go check them out. Give them a look, and yeah, Versus PC. So this is a parade lap for this 250 heat number 2. We've got Andrew Massart, Alex Cunningham, Daniel Mills, Phil Bull, Jake Fisher, Craig Richards, Procop, Oliver, Haley, Hockey, Burkeen, Like, Parks, Solis, Betts, Davis, Alfrey, Mahan, and that is it. 18 guys starting this one. So we did have a little bit of server lag there for a minute. We saw that in that first heat race. Hopefully that does not persist here. I'm going to keep an eye on that as we got our eye on the current points leader, Jack Haley. Last week's winner at Daytona came from way back to get there. Let's see what he does in this heat race. It is time for 250 heat number 2, live here on SYS TV. It's a good start for Haley, but he gets into Mahan, and that's going to cause a ruckus into turn 1. It was Burkeen who let him in. Instead, it's his teammate, Daniel Mills, coming out with the hole shot, and he gets the 3 in. If he can finish this line, he's going to have a big lead as he almost goes up and through the front door. Behind him, Hockey and Phil Bull just got around Peter Like, and Craig Richards coming in there on the 74. He's going to go 2-2 into the corner, get down the inside of Like and Phil Bull, who came in and took out Hockey, or maybe there was incidental contact, but the way that that is sitting, it looks like a takeout. And Hockey's going to get going right in front of Matt Burkeen, who has to roll the finish line jump, or I thought he was going to. Meanwhile, Jack Haley gets around all those guys and actually gets around Devin Davis, who is down as well. There's another rider down, 84 on the start straight. Haley splits him, and now Jack Haley moves into 10th. Needs one more spot to go into the transfer positions. So chaotic start to this one. It is Daniel Mills out front leading. 51 machine for Tagger Designs. He gets amazing starts. It's one thing Mills has always been really good at, is his starts, and it's helped him in the past to podium and race victories. Behind that, Peter Like on the 73. Dealing with Alanis Solis, who we haven't seen much of this year. OG Alanis Solis. He's using the wrong bike here, but number 259 in the program book. Him and Peter Like, a couple of OGs really going at it. Peter is Hi, I'm Skike on the forums, and Alanis Solis is Manitou. Oh! Although I think he's Manny20 on the forums. Is Like able to survive going up and over the bars? Solis now moves up into that 2 spot, and Richards up to 3rd. Like is going to have to settle back in for 4th here, but he's going to go down again, and he's off the bike. So here comes Haley and Massart. 4 and 5 now, but Haley's going to go inside, get the 3 into the rhythm, but mess up, and Massart goes down trying to get back by him. So Fisher is going to squeak out a spot here, and then Richards was down with Solis in the bull corner, and Haley is already moved up to 2nd. As Mills leads over the line onto lap number 4. So Mills leads this thing in. He's got about 5 seconds to work with over your points leader, Jack Haley, who was down off the start. Behind him, the 270 of Jake Fisher is trying to go with him. See if they can't work together to get up there. Alanis Solis has drifted into the 4 ride. Craig Richards is now 5th. Oliver is 6th. Cunningham 7th. Mahan 8th. And Devin Davis is 9th, although he just relinquished that spot. Matt Burkeen on the number 8 Tagger Designs machine goes on through, so Devin Davis is going to have to try to find his way back through. Shows him a wheel, but Burkeen from the outside line able to survive. It's really who gets this section better. Davis really heavy on the rear tire there, but Burkeen is actually going to get it all the way through clean and make a pass on Garrett Oliver, who now slips back into that final transfer spot. So these guys all taking pretty much the same rhythm here, 2, 3, 3, 1. It's Devin Davis who has got to get around these guys. We'll go on board with him here for a minute. He is in P10. C trying an inside move on Oliver. Up and over the tunnel jump and then back down the start straight. Instead of going left, this time they will go right into this corner. And through the whoops. Oh, rider down left side. That was Mahan. And then getting up on the track right in front of Oliver. I couldn't see who that was, but Davis still has not made the pass on Mahan as they go side by side over the triple. A little bit of dualies action as Davis going to have to think twice about it, and now he's going to get past. Hey, that is the 64, I believe, of Ethan Parks, and they split Oliver. So Parks goes on through, and Davis is going to get past again, 223. I think that's Massart, maybe. So Davis slips back to 11th, and whoever's in front of him just did the 3-3 to get around Ethan Parks. Now Davis also trying to get back around Ethan Parks. What great action on board with the DX3 rider. Down the inside of Ethan Parks, almost showed him a wheel. Gave him a little shoulder check nearly. Back down the start straight, different lines developing into this corner. Starting to get a little bit rougher as the road wears in. I think we'll see that inside line develop later in the night. Davis getting a little huckabuck, and Mahan was down with Massart, I believe, so he goes into that final transfer spot, and it was Massart who was down. So now Mahan's teammate, Clay Alfrey, gets up and into that spot right behind Massart. This is 10th and 11th. Ooh, Davis and Ethan Parks side by side. Davis is going to get around him, excuse me, as Parks made a mistake through that rhythm section. Now Parks is going to have to deal with Massart coming up from behind. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure Andrew Massart is one of the top amateur level riders we've seen these past couple years. So it's good to see him getting his feet wet in the pro class now. Bumps coming into that corner. They're getting deep as Parks is off the track. Massart goes through. Parks gets on, but he is now outside looking in 10th. He's going to have to go back after Massart, and Devin Davis is squeaking away from these guys. Meanwhile, squeaking away at the front is still Daniel Mills, and he has got a comfortable gap now. That's Peter Lcq a lap down behind him, but Craig Richards in second. Looking at the gap, 12.9, 13 seconds is the gap to Craig Richards. So Mills continues to lead comfortably. Richards, Burkeen, Fisher, Solis is the top 5. Cunningham 6th. Haley is back to 7th, so he's had some issues. Davis is 8th, and Phil Bull has now found his way into 9th, so we've lost Andrew Massart somewhere. Not sure what exactly happened. But these two are your bubble riders. Phil Bull occupies that final transfer spot. Different lines on this 353 jump. You saw Davis, he ended up going inside roll double. Phil Bull kind of tire tapped it with using both wheels, so it's really not much of a tire tap, but kind of faced in. Davis holding off Phil Bull for the time being. Got to be mindful of Ethan Parks. We just saw squeak by in the background. These two going at it, and both of them are in transfer spot. The last thing they want to do is take each other out, but they also don't want to slow each other down as Phil Bull. They come across. That was Devin Davis squeaking to the outside, and they come together. So now getting up, Phil Bull will get up ahead of Devin Davis and just want to head up front real quick. Give credit where credit's due. He leads this thing wire to wire. How about it? Nothing but Danny Boy and his victories as Daniel Mills takes the win here in heat number 2 of the 250 East region. We'll go back to that final transfer spot battle. Devin Davis has got to get around Phil Bull. We saw Ethan Parks go on through. So 10th spot for Davis. What's he going to do? How is he going to get there? Got to get this line clean. He's not gonna. He's gonna come up short, but Parks is down, so he's just got to ride through. And he's into 9th. Ooh, but it's not looking all that pretty. If Parks can get that last rhythm section super clean, well, I don't know. Parks has got a 3 in, and he's not gonna do it. So Davis, doubling his way through the last rhythm section, will survive and go to the main event. Ethan Parks down in the final lap of the race, loses out. Massart also going to be outside looking in. Josh Betts, Clay Alfrey, Garrett Oliver, Ryan Mahan, Peter Lcq, Kyler Hockey, and Zach Prokop. Quite a few guys that are normal main event guys not going through out of this one, so I'm sure they're not going to be too thrilled to have to go to the LCQ, and it certainly also makes for a bit of a more stacked LCQ. Seeing all these guys in there. All right. So coming up next is going to be 450 heat number 1. And a quick reminder to anybody just tuning into the broadcast, we are not going to see Jesse Mullins, who entered the championship, or entered the night 3rd in the championship, lining up tonight. Unfortunately, he was protested by his contemporary Alexis Leclerc, and Mullins is now suspended for this week at St. Louis for an illegal track reentry that caused Leclerc to land on him last week at Daytona. It was not for the takeouts. Mullins was warned for the aggressive riding for the takeouts, but he was ultimately suspended 1 round for the illegal track reentry, which more or less fits the crime. That's usually what happens if someone has an illegal track reentry that then causes a crash of another rider. That usually results in a 1-week suspension. Occasionally, they will lessen the penalty to, if it was deemed he was doing as much as he could to stay out of the way, they might lessen it to just a warning. But in this case, they gave Mullins that 1-week suspension. So no Mullins tonight, but it is now down to our 2 title favorites before tonight anyway, Mullins or not. After Colton Mitchell was able to finish up 4th last week to Leclerc's 10th, he closed it down to just 4 points in the championship. I believe, actually, I should probably double check that real quick. And, I'm sorry, 3 points. Miscalculated. So yeah, Mullins would have actually entered tonight 24 points down on Leclerc. That missing tonight ultimately ruins his title chances. I think being anything more than a full race distance down in this series is pretty tough to come back from. But we'll see. You never know. Maybe he comes back and goes on a winning streak at the end, and it completely changes. We'll definitely have to see. But here we go. 450 heat number 1, and Colton Mitchell on the 6 is lined up down the inside. Leclerc is more towards the center of the box, so both of your title contenders are in this one. Let's go racing in St. Louis, 450 style. And Leclerc, of course, gets a great start. Turley had a line down the inside, but had to back it down. And it is Leclerc with the whole shot. Right behind him, the 10 of Sean Klein coming with him, and Turley able to finish off that good start. As here is Klein and Leclerc leading. And they're both getting the big lines early. You can see Leclerc is throwing caution to the wind here. He is trying to scrub away and get away from Sean Klein. One thing that this whole situation has created with Leclerc and protesting Mullins 7 times is some probably not wanted drama on Leclerc's side. He's getting some people messaging him that are not too thrilled with his antics these past few weeks. And we could see potentially some aggressive passing towards Leclerc still anyway tonight, even though Mullins isn't here. So we'll have to keep an eye on who is going to race Leclerc clean and who is not. And obviously the same vice versa, who Leclerc will keep a clean slate with. As this championship goes deeper, the less enemies he has, the better. So Mitchell has worked his way up to 3rd, but with Leclerc leading, and as steady as he is, it's unlikely he will catch him. Billy Kunitz runs in the 4th spot right now. He's putting in a good ride, privateering it up. 4th in points entering the night, and actually has a chance to really claw some points away at Mullins, who is 3rd in the championship, is Adam Holm. Holm entered the night 30 points back of Mullins, so a good ride here tonight with no Mullins on the gate will certainly help his case in trying to get back into this potentially a race for the podium spots now in this championship. Devin Ryan. First we've seen of Ben McLeod all year long. It's been a little while actually since we've seen McLeod at all, as he gets around Holm, who is down. McLeod on the 992 iLab.com machine. Always super fast, super speedy, puts in super hot laps, but we really haven't seen much of him at all. I'm trying to remember the last time he even raced. I don't think it was even last year, as he also makes the pass on Billy Kunitz. So Jake West got around Holm, as did Sabrina Ritzler. Spencer Turley also did, and I think that puts Holm outside. Yes, it does. He is 10th now. Gonna try to go to the inside of Turley. Showed him a wheel, but thought better of it. There's also a few riders kind of trained up behind him. You can look on the map on the upper right-hand corner of the screen. We got about a 7-rider train getting going into this thing, and Holmes starting to use that inside line. Actually lost some ground though, and someone coming up behind him. Ooh, Turley short on the triple, makes a mistake, and whoever's behind Holmes is giving him an earful. He is right there. That is the ever good machine of Finn Collins, and Collins actually going to get passed by Eagland, and Simos is trying to get into the mix, but I want to... Oh, West went down, so Holm is going to get back through, and Zaworski looks like he got into the back of Simos, and somehow neither of them went down. That was a guaranteed front end lock situation in my eyes. Whoa, Finn Collins gets into whoever that was going through, but Turley is down with Holm, and Finn Collins is still having problems as he gets up right there, as Jake West is now behind Jonathan Hughes, and Adam Holm is back to 12th, which means that Zaworski has gone through into the final transfer spot. So this just completely shuffled here. Now Turley, he's trying to get around Simos, and this would be for 10th. You can also see Holm there kind of lurking in the background, and he is battling Jonathan Hughes, I believe. So, oh, rider down. That looked like Eagland maybe in the gaps there. So both of these guys are going to move up a spot. Zaworski now 8th. That puts Simos onto the final transfer spot. He's making a couple mistakes into the corner, but they're catching Zaworski at the same time, and he's bringing Turley with him. So now Simos getting to the back of Zaworski, who makes a mistake. Simos down the inside, makes the pass stick. Zaworski had to nearly come to a stop to avoid him. And now Turley is trying to come up from behind. Zaworski trying to use that inside line. Oh, almost laid it down. So Turley has an inside line in the whoops and gets it done, but then Simos sends it over the berm, as does Hughesy. And here comes Holm. He's going to get on through. He's bringing, that is Finn Collins with him, and I think Eagland right there in the background. So a little 3-rider train, and they got to go catch Zaworski for the final transfer spot. Little mistake for Collins. He's just able to eke that triple in. So Holm wants to get around Zaworski and put a bit of a buffer between himself and Finn Collins. Finn Collins, rider out of Australia, we know he has some issues with a lag bubble. And the last thing Adam Holm wants to do is get caught up in that lag bubble, as he is now really close to the back of Nathan Zaworski, trying to split line again. That inside is coming to work out a little bit better. I think as the night show develops, we get into the main events and that rut gets a little bit deeper. We'll see more and more guys using that line. How about Holm? Oh, into Zaworski and down. So just when he had the pass made, he ends up going down. So now Finn Collins is going to try to get through, but Billy Kunitz was down and Collins is down, and then Eagland gets into Kunitz. So this is for 9th here, as Dickerson comes into the mix on the 65, and he jumps underneath Kunitz and past Eagland to get into that final transfer spot. My, oh my, what a change of pace here. Suddenly a lot of guys in this mix that weren't previously. Kunitz falls back, and Dickerson allows his teammate Eagland to come down the inside. There's Ben McLeod. Looks like he may have just been getting on the track from a crash. Whoa, Eagland throws it in, and Holm and Kunitz both taking the inside line as Dickerson is getting a little out of shape in the whoops. Look at this absolute freight train of riders as Kunitz sends it over the berm in the background, so he is now outside of this battle. Oh, Eagland a mistake. Dickerson nearly gets the 3 from the outside. This is the battle for the final transfer spot now after some crashing. Oh my gosh, Eagland is just all over the place, and Dickerson is going to get back on by McLeod and Zaworski right in front of these guys still. And Adam Holm, oh, Zaworski looks like, I think that was him down. So Holm now goes into 10th. And Eagland is on the final transfer spot as they get the white flag. How about Holm jumping to the inside off the track? He's going to get some cuts, but he's just trying to make the pass. He gets the pass, but cuts are going to definitely play in there as Leclerc takes the victory. Klein a solid second, stuck with him most of the race. Then Ryan behind Mitchell, Ritzler, Turley 6th, McLeod 7th, Dickerson 8th, and Adam Holm is now 9th ahead of Dickerson. But if Dickerson even keeps it close, he's going to get around Holm if any of these guys keep it close, because Adam Holm is going to have a big chunk of cuts. And McLeod is down too, so this is all getting flipped. Holm is now 7th, Dickerson 8th, I believe, and oh, Eagland down the inside of Simos gets that spot. So Holm is going to cross the line, unofficially 7th, and oh, Simos tried to send it in. It's Eagland who gets that spot. McLeod outside looking in 10th. Simos as well. Finn, Collins, Zaworski, Kunitz, West, Hughes, Dupuis, Fry, Penwell, and Saulnier. Let's wait for cuts, because I really do believe Adam Holm probably is about to lose 2 spots here. I don't think it's going to be worth 5 seconds of cuts. And Holm did actually end up getting cuts, but Eagland also had cuts behind him. Holm ended up getting 2.13 seconds of cuts, while Eagland had 2.58. And so Eagland actually was not able to gain a spot, but Dickerson did, so Holm ended up 8th. Your winner in this one was Leclerc, so he's going to take first gate pick into the main event. Colton Mitchell should take 5th or 6th. Want to remind everyone, big shout out to our title sponsor for the 7th year of the series, MotoOption Clothing. Be sure to head over to motooption.com and check those guys out. Get any of their apparel, their accessories. They make riding gear now. They do decals. They do laminates. They do all kinds of stuff. MotoOption has been a huge, huge help in getting MX Simulator to where it is today. Like I said, 7 years as the title sponsor of the MotoOption Supercross series. They've also been a big supporter of SYS. And can't thank all those guys at MotoOption enough for what they do to make this game as truly amazing as it is with their pricing and, of course, just being a great sponsor in general. So please check them out. It's worth it. They make quality stuff, and I would recommend 10 out of 10. All right, so 450 heat number 2 parade lap out there right now. We got the one and only JS4, Jeremy Smith, Brian Haskell, Tyson Fresquez, Jeremy Siebel, Tyler Lewis, Jacob Hubbard, Logan Leitzel, Roy Mitchell, Jeremy Shipley is back this week, Chase Blakely, Jack Fowler, Reed Young, Jeremy Cohenauer, Matthias Janis, Ty Smith, James Schuler, Trevor Doiron, Tyler Schmidt, Rush Chapman. I think I missed 1 or 2 guys. I apologize. But yeah, here we go. Final heat race of the night. 9 going to the main event. We'll see who is going to get out of this one. Let's keep an eye on Tyler Schmidt, who gets fantastic starts. He's in a pretty good spot. You can see the whole runners on the inside right here. Let's go racing. It is 450 heat number 2 at St. Louis. Look at Schmidt. Beautiful jump. Great start. He's going to close off the inside. And Smith actually beat him around the corner and got the hole shot, so his teammate out-dragged him, and he is going to get the early lead as Schmidt makes a mistake. But actually, I think Chapman's about to pass Smith. Yes, he does. He puts him down. So Chapman and Siebold ended up 1-2, and then Chapman almost goes down. So here comes Schmidt, who is going to go in and take out Rush Chapman for taking out Jeremy Smith. Eye for an eye, as they say. Teammate battles going on early in this heat race. Gnarly action as now Shipley gets down the inside. These guys are not teammates. This is versus PC FamMX TBR Suzuki of Tyler Schmidt versus the Relaxa Tire Suzuki of Jeremy Shipley. So not teammates. Tyler Lewis of Relaxa Tire is Shipley's teammate. We got Matthias Janis up here, Chase Blakely, Tyson Fresquez, your defending champion. Rush Chapman gets up from his crash, and I think is actually in 9th right now. Roy Mitchell and then Jeremy Smith. So Chapman's going to have to regroup after that early fall. We got 1,000 riders down in this corner right here. It was Schmidt, Blakely, and Janis, I think, all mixed together. Maybe one other rider in there. So they are having some fun here at the back. 7th, 8th Smith, and 9th is Roy Mitchell. But let's go on board with Smith, who is right behind this chaotic battle. You can see 2 guys whipping towards each other in front of him, and his teammate Schmidt goes down. So Smith able to avoid him. He's going to move up to 7th. He's right behind Blakely there on that 13. So Smith trying to reel these guys in. I believe that's Matthias Janis on the MV Films ride, also in front of him. How about Smith? Good drive, shows him a wheel, but Blakely holds on. Smith still able to go inside and 3 in cleanly, and then 3-4 into the corner down the inside. Makes that pass happen. And let's see, did he get it to stick? Actually, Blakely able to pull back alongside, so a good back and forth battle between these two, but Smith is going to have the inside here and in the next corner as well. Although Blakely actually changes it up. He's trying to pull along the inside. Smith wisely shuts the door. Gets through the sweeping corner at the bottom, and will set sail after Janice now. Russ Chapman already up to 4th and trying to run down your defending Supercross champion Tyson Fresquez, who not only continues to have a weird season by his own standards and just not having a good year, but for some reason he's also running default everything. So for those of you that don't know MX Simulator, you can run like default 1, default 2, default gear, all this stuff like that, default bikes, or you could get bikes skinned. I have a stock model replacement pack, and I also have a rider replacement pack, so it gives them a gear to use in the event they don't have gear or whatever. This set of gear that he's using is you have to click on default 01 to use this gear. I don't know why he's not using his team gear, what the deal is with that. I think he's also using a helmet that you actually have to click on. Not sure about his bike. I just don't think I have his skin there, but what a weird year for Fresquez all around the board. So up front, Seabolt leads. We saw for a moment there that Shipley was actually closing on him, but Seabolt able to squeak away as Shipley made a couple mistakes. Fresquez a slightly distant 3rd, but he's having a better round so far than his previous round suggest. Chapman is up to 4th, and he was your winner last week at Daytona amidst all the drama between Leclerc and Mullins. We didn't talk much about Chapman and how well he rode at Daytona, but Chapman has entered 9 professional Supercross races this year, as Fresquez is down at the end of the straightaway there. 9 Pro SX races this year in the North America Series for Chapman, and he has won 8 of them. He is undefeated in the 250 West region, 6 for 6. He won the first 450 he raced, 450 race he raced in Dallas, did not race the following week in Tampa, but then did race at Atlanta and did not do so well. He actually DNF'd, but he actually showed up and raced, and then got back to his winning ways again last week at Daytona. So Atlanta was the one race that he tried and did not succeed at winning. Everything else in between has been a race victory. Oh, Shipley up at the top of the berm and stuck in the Davalos bales. He's trying to get off of them and ends up getting into the 162 there. I want to say Ty Smith, but I know that's wrong, as Chapman goes off the track in the background. So Chapman gets going right in front of Matthias Janis. That was a very, very gnarly track re-entry. Fortunately, Janis doesn't go down, or else I would think Chapman would have a potential penalty coming his way. So Janis trying to go after Chapman here. Good battle for 3rd on your screen. Let's actually drift further back. We see Blakely in 5th, Smith up to 6th. 7th is your defending champ Fresquez. 8th is Tyler Lewis. And 9th currently is Haskell, but he is being hounded by Canada's finest, Reed Young of System Decal. Young wants to get into this main event, and he's going to get around Haskell, who went down. But meanwhile, Hubbard got the line completely clean, and he's going to get both of them and go into that 9th spot. Whoa, and then loops out, and he's down. From hero to 0 in that quick. So Reed Young, he goes back into that final transfer spot. He's going to have to fend off Tyler Schmidt and Logan Leitzel, who are coming from behind. So Haskell remounts. He is probably out of this battle now between these 3, although if they all come together, you never know. Smith was just down in the rhythm, so Fresquez got by him. No real battling going on up front other than Jeremy Seabolt putting on a bit of a clinic. Did not get the whole shot. That went to Jeremy Smith, but then Smith was quickly undone by Seabolt's teammate Russ Chapman, who took him out. And then the very next corner, justice was served to Chapman as Tyler Schmidt cleaned out Russ Chapman, who was actually already back into second after he made a mistake in the rhythm. So Seabolt took the lead there and has not looked back. So the number 19 Garlander Racing Machine coming through the final corner, and it is Jeremy Seabolt, your winner here, 250 heat, or 450 heat number 2. So used to saying Jeremy Seabolt and 250 in the same sentence. Jeremy Shipley, his first week back in a while, is going to pick up a second just ahead of Chapman in third. Blakely is all alone in fourth here. Matthias Janis in fifth. Jeremy Smith is sixth. Fresquez seventh. Lewis eighth. And Reed Young is ninth. But Leitzel is trying to come, and he is just lag-wagoning his way all the way up there. He says his Wi-Fi is trash. He even put it in his name, but let's see how that suits him as he tries to get this pass done for the final transfer spot. He can see Reed Young. He's closing in. He's going to get the 3 in. Young is going to have to send it down the inside if he wants to hold on. Down the inside. Block pass. Got him. Reed Young to the main event. And cuts make it official immediately, as these are the last 2 on the lead lap. So Leitzel had it, but left just enough of a room there as Young jumped down the inside. I couldn't tell maybe if he cut the corner just a smidge, but I really couldn't tell there. Woo! All right, 450 heat number 2 in the books. And I believe this is actually going to be a break right now. So a quick break in the action while they reload the scripts. I'm going to do a little bit of riding myself because, well, why not? Actually fixed my microphone for a second there. So this track is pretty unique this week. It's got a pretty long start straight into a like double 90 apex corner. This section you're seeing these guys go 3-3-4 through this. My talent is not such that I can do that though. So just doing a pretty simple line. And then this line coming out of the corner. Only the 450s so far we've seen are able to 3 in there, and I can't even 3 in. Whew. All right. So they go 3-3-3 on the 450s. They go 2-3-3-1 on the 250s in that section. Then this is going to be the corner of action coming up here in a second. This 250 and 450 LCQ coming up next. See guys really centered it in there, up and over the finish line jump. Then a little 3-4-5-4-3 section. And that is how many feet tall the jumps are. Over-under bridge back across the start straight, and I think we're going to see this inside line being utilized more in the main events. We saw it being utilized a little bit more in the 450 heats. Doesn't get you that great of a drive for the whoops, but I think as it gets deeper, we'll see more and more people using it. These whoops are also getting pretty gnarly with cupping tonight. Seems like they're getting dug out a little bit more. And that is nearly a lap. I almost made it. It was 2-2 Supercross triple 90 and then a 3-5-3 triple out of the corner. All right, coming up next is going to be maybe the most action-packed racing you will see all night long. These are always fantastic to watch because there are 22 riders on the gate, and only 4 of them are going to the main event tonight. It is the 250 LCQ, and we are live here on SYS TV from St. Louis. Big shout out, while I can get it, to Racetech Suspension, the supplier of engine performance parts and race-winning suspension as well. These guys are tremendous support for SYS, for MX Simulator, all across the board. Definitely would recommend checking them out if you need suspension rebuilt or if you need engine rebuilding or anything, really. Racetech will get you covered. So this is our LCQ lineup. We have quite a few big names in this one. Lcq has made mains. ProCop's made mains. We have defending champion of the series, Connor Holiak, as well as quite a few others. I foresee some battling going on in this one. This should be pretty good. We'll keep an eye on Holiak, as it would be quite a bit of a disaster if he misses the main event here in St. Louis. Already kind of out of the championship, but he still wants to put on a good showing. It is time for the 250 LCQ. Let's drop the gate. 413 is Baker, but from the outside I saw Mahan swoop in, and he is going to get a beautiful hole shot, and then Lcq takes down Baker into the second corner, so that opens up a little bit of room for Copeland and Lcq, both having good starts as well. I think Holiak is right there. Yes, he is in 4th, and there he is getting the 3 in. I was mistaken because some of these 250 guys are able to get it, and Holiak nearly 3-3-3s his way into the race lead right there. Holiak trying to give a nose up there onto Dylan Copeland, race leader after lap number 1. Like Oliver are your top 4. Then Lee Bradley, Neil Wells, Andrew Massart, Zach Prokop. Looks like Dylan Gatlin was in that mix. And then, oh, Mahan gets into Massart. And that is Zach Prokop on the deck. So it's already starting to spread out just a little bit here. Ooh, Oliver. Big swap hits the tough blocks, and now they're both going to split like. That is the 428 of Lee Bradley. And right behind them comes Neil Wells now. Neil Wells getting into the mix. I thought that was Oliver, but I forgot Oliver was ahead of him. And Oliver is now actually on the ground. So he comes up short on the finish line jump, gets passed by quite a few riders there. So Holiak has gone to the race lead. He makes the pass stick on Dylan Copeland. I would say talent-wise, Holiak the best rider in this race right now. So we'll see if he can sprint away and take this LCQ victory. Then Copeland, Like, and now Wells into the final transfer spot. And he's got a little bit of a gap to work with now, so we'll see what he does here under pressure. Looks like so far he's handling it well. Oh, excuse me, I was yawning as Dylan Copeland was down. And Wells hit him, so Wells is going to hold on to the final transfer spot, but he lost a spot in the process. So this is your battle for the final transfer, Copeland and Wells, with Mahan not too far distant behind, and actually might make a pass. Not quite. He's bringing Lcq with him, though. So all these guys wanting to get in. You can see the final transfer spot of Neil Wells and the Alias gear up there on the Honda. Mahan getting right up behind Dylan Copeland here. He's got a great run in the whoops. Does he try an inside move? Not quite, but he's trying to show him a wheel. We got 5 riders in a pairing right here, all going for one spot. Mahan up and over the double, doubles out. Oh, Copeland with a hard chop into the first corner puts Mahan on the deck. And then Copeland can't even get the rhythm section, so he's going to get passed by Lcq, it looks like. Yes, he does. Lcq gets the pass down the inside. Copeland tripling in the next section, gets Lcq back and takes over the spot. As Wells was making a ton of mistakes, and now Wells gets together with Lcq, and Wells ends up backwards in the other lane of the track, and he's just trying to get going as Mahan comes through. That was almost the most ridiculous track range I've ever seen. And fortunately, Andrew Massart did not go down, or else Neil Wells would not be racing next week, I could tell you that much. So Massart now gets the pass done on Wells as Wells puts it up into the banners. Mahan, Copeland, Like, Bradley, and your race leader Holiak, white flag in the air for the defending champion. Oh, Bradley down in second. And he is not going to get up in a transfer spot. Mahan goes through. Massart goes through. That now puts Ryan Mahan into the final transfer spot, which is kind of incredible, seeing as he won the heat race and led quite a bit of the main event last week at Daytona. But now he is sitting on the bubble, and he's being caught a little bit here by Andrew Massart. Mahan ideally wants to go try to run down those 2 guys in front of him. But he also just does not want to get passed by Massart, who is keeping it close. Mahan getting some swaps in the whoops. Gets a good save, but Massart could see that in front of him. Up front, Holiak takes the victory in the LCQ. Mahan a mistake. Almost goes down, and Massart goes through. Massart, final transfer spot, but misses the rhythm. He was bogging so hard, and Mahan goes back by. Massart goes for the quad, and he's down. Oh, Massart had the spot and ended up going down. Now Mahan is struggle busing his way to the finish line, but he will hang on as Bradley goes down in the final corner. And Massart is probably none the thrilled on that one. He had a transfer spot to the main and flubbed the rhythm section, then crashed it away. Garrett Oliver in 7th will not be going, along with Noah Baker and Neil Wells, Ethan Parks, Thomas Sillick, James Ohashi, Dylan Gatlin, Josh Betts, Caden Speck, Clay Alfrey, Zach Prokop, and only 17 guys started the race. So confirmed, Mahan, Copeland, Like, and Holiak going to the main event here at St. Louis. This is round number 5 of the series for these guys. I apologize for the dead air. I'm trying to save my voice. Can already feel it going. All right, 450 last chance qualifier coming up next. And this one should be pretty good. This 450 LCQ is going to be brought to you by the fine folks at Fam MX Designs, another proud sponsor of the series this year and helping out with SYS as well in the past, so can't thank those guys enough. Blake Scheinman is the jack of all trades when it comes to graphic designs. And I'd definitely check out FamMX Designs if you're looking to get a new livery on your motorcycle today, or if you just need some stickers or anything in general. I'm sure he can help you out. Really awesome guy and really awesome company. All right, 450 LCQ loading in. Looks like I timed out. Yep. All right. We got Schuler. We got Hubbard, West, Penwell, Collins, Doiron, Fowler, Simos, Dupuis, Cohenauer, French, Kunitz, Schmidt, Hughes, Haskell, Fry, Zaworski. Let's see. Leitzel, Smith, Cohenauer, Simos. I think I got it. Everybody. Penwell. I think I got everybody. All right. Final race of the night before the main events. And it may, just may, be the best one we see this evening. Gonna take a look at Tyler Schmidt again because he gets good starts as per usual. 450 LCQ is underway in St. Louis, and Schmidt does get a good jump, but he backs it down. Instead, it's Haskell who leads him into turn 1. He unofficially gets the whole shot, but Jonathan Hughes comes through in the second corner and takes the race lead. Now Haskell's also going to get passed by Fry, and Haskell also went down, so that really shook things up as West got through, and then he ended up going down. So there's a couple guys that are going to be stacked up in this corner. Wow, there was a lot of guys going down at the bottom of the screen there. Meanwhile, though, leading the way away from all of this chaos, Jonathan Hughes leads the race coming down the start straight the opposite direction. Behind him, Tyler Fry, then Finn Collins. And final transfer spot right now to James Schuler, Simos, Zaworski, Cohenauer, Dupuis, just to name a few that are coming up behind him. So Simos has got to be watching his back as, Schuler's got to be watching his back, and he went down. So Zaworski, who got around Simos, goes into the final transfer spot. Now Simos has got to fight back. Don't forget Dupuis and Leitzel also in the mix. We'll see how Simos does here, what he can do to get back around Zaworski. We got a rider down in the corner here. Couldn't see who that was. It is still Hughes, Fry, Collins, and like I said, Zaworski into that final transfer spot, but Simos is trying to come along to the front here. He's in an SYS sandwich as Zach Dupuis is right behind him, and they've lost touch with Lights a little bit. Oh, Zaworski down and Simos into him, and Dupuis is down, and oh my goodness, Simos gets up completely sideways, almost takes out Cohenauer. There are 7 dudes in the whoop section here as Dupuis ends up going down. So Leitzel, who is lagging his face off, is in the final transfer spot. Cohenauer down the inside, shows him a wheel but not able to get there. Hubbard is down, ends up backwards on the track there. So that all started when Zaworski slid it down coming into the corner, and it kicked off this whole chain of events that happened. So Leitzel is in front, but the real question I have is, with his internet being as bad as it is, we can even see him lagging a little bit in warm-up mode, which is usually means it's 10 times as worse for these guys behind him. I really wonder how much they can see of him in front of them and how easy this pass is going to be if they're able to make it stick. Right now they don't have to worry about that too much because Leitzel's actually gapping them. Cohenauer and Simos are both trying to kind of work together to get up to him. Schuler is in the background as well. Who rider down? Tyler Fry went down. That will allow Cohenauer into the final transfer spot, and then Simos dumps it. So it's now down to Schuler or Hubbard to get to Cohenauer, it seems. Because right now it is Finn Collins, Jonathan Hughes, Logan Leitzel, and Jeremy Cohenauer. And like I said, behind that, Hubbard and Schuler trying to come along. These two are working well together. They're not really throwing it in on each other, trying to make any aggressive passes, but they're also not really gaining on Cohenauer either. Finn Collins takes the white flag up front. He is lapping Tyler Schmidt, who is not having the night he had hoped. Hughes right here as well. Leitzel and Cohenauer. This is your top 4, and it is pretty spread out as now it's Hubbard. Then we have Simos, Fry, Dupuis, Zaworski, Schuler, French, Kunitz, all these guys outside looking in. Nobody's catching up to Finn Collins, though. So Collins, despite a little bit of a problem here in this last rhythm section, is going to bring this thing home. Rider out of Australia takes the victory here. 450 LCQ goes to Finn Collins. Jonathan Hughes has got second all but locked up. Logan Leitzel lags his way through into third. And Cohenauer is just tiptoeing his way through this rhythm section. And is going to go through in fourth. Simos misses out. Schuler, Fry, Hubbard, French, Haskell, Zaworski, Kunitz, West, Smith, Penwell, Schmidt, Doiron, Dupuis, Fowler. Those are all the riders that are headed to the cheap seats. They're going to grab a hot dog and hopefully have a good time. All right, so coming up next is probably going to be a little bit of a break here as they build the scripts for the mains. Yeah, just a little bit of a break here. They are going to go ahead and work. What the heck? They put all the Tavella Bros guys in this one. Whole shot. Let's see if I can get this line here. 3, 3, and 4. And 3 out of this corner. 3 again. And 3 into the corner. Finish line jump. Jumping into the corner. Jumped off the track. Oh man, how'd I crash from that? Oh, MX Simulator has its own game category on Twitch now? Sick. Too bad I don't have Twitch open to fix that. I literally just have chat popped up. Actually, I'll be right back. Type in title. Oh, hold on. I tried. What the heck's taking so long to load in here? What's going on? Oh. It doesn't work. I give up. Trying to fix something on Twitch on the fly here. Freaking gonna miss the start of the 250 main. Alright. Yes, sirree! Donut MX is racing the 250 main event tonight, as are Edward Mora, Jake Fisher, Jeremy Hinders, Daniel Batchett, Phil Bull, Craig Richards, Alex Cunningham, Connor Holiak, Garrett Hollenbeck, Brett Powers. Oh, there's Donut MX. There he is right there. Ivan Medina, Tyler Lang, Matt Burkeen, Jack Haley, and about 7 other dudes I missed. All right, here we go. It is time for round number 5 of the 250E Supercross Series, live here on SYS TV. Let's drop the gate. It is St. Louis. Good start, 51 of Mills, better from Burkeen, but Mills is going to get there. No, it is Burkeen. And right behind them is Haley. Burkeen right there. Oh, man, somebody cross-jumping in the background there, but it is Mills leading. Burkeen in second, so the Taggart Designs teammates are 1-2. Maybe not for long. Well, actually, Haley messed it up. So it's Mills leading. Burkeen, patented front flip. Hinders is in third from Haley, Williams, and Mora. So we got a freight train of riders right here. Then Hollenbeck was a rider who got really sideways in the first rhythm section. So all the Evergood guys are right near the front, except for their teammate and defending champion Connor Holiak. Look at this absolute train of riders in the whoops at the first lap is over. On to lap 2. Ooh, split lines almost coming together. Oh, change to the lead. Matt Burkeen down the outside, front flips into the race lead. Oh, man. Oh, how about Hinders? He's going to have an inside move on Mills. Not quite, but Hinders running up in the 3 spot early on, and Burkeen is still front flipping as he front flips the finish line jump. Matt Burkeen, your new race leader on to lap number 3. Mills shows him a wheel down the inside. They're going to go side by side over the tunnel, and Mills is down. So that changes the leader. Well, it doesn't change the leader, but it changes the lead of the race around a little bit. Burkeen is now ahead of Hinders and then Haley. Mora coming up in the mix as well. I gotta believe Haley is the one to watch in this front group. He's won 3 rounds of the 5 this year, or of the 4, I should say. 3 of the 4 that we've raced. It is close up front, though. Hinders really having to stretch out that triple in. Comes up short on the next triple and comes up short on the last triple. And Haley gets the whole thing clean, makes the pass, and is now going to try to set sail after Matt Burkeen as Hinders regroups in the background. But Burkeen, it can't be said enough that this guy knows how to win these races. He's won plenty of 250 races, won plenty of 450 races. He's your 2016 250 National Motocross Champion. That's why he has that big number 8. But for some reason, Jack Haley just seems like a man possessed this year. The man on the number 57, Relaxa Tire Suzuki, looking down the inside. Can't quite get it done. Oh, and he's into the back of Burkeen. Haley is down. Hinders goes by. There's Mora going through. And Haley is going to somehow get up still in 4th, 5th now. Actually going to lose another spot back to 6th as Holiak goes through. So just when Haley was going for it, gets into the back of Burkeen. That looked like incidental contact, but couldn't quite see from the angle what exactly happened. So Burkeen continues to lead. Now Hinders slots into the 2 spot. Mora 3rd, Holiak 4th, and Haley 5th. So Holiak has got to deal with some pressure now as he's going to jump off the track here. And he's going to lose a lot of drive that Haley is going to use, try to get around the outside, but Holiak shuts the door. You can see all these 250F guys are going outside before the whoops to get the drive into the whoops. I think we'll see more 450 guys using that inside line. Holiak going 2-1. Looks like he's able to pull a little bit away from Haley now, and Haley makes another mistake. So Holiak's going to get through this whole section clean and pull right up onto the back of his teammate, Edward Mora. So now the battle that was for 4th between Holiak and Haley has now become a battle for 3rd between Mora and Haley, and Holiak, I should say. Battle of the teammates. Evergood, number 26 of Mora, number 1, your defending champion, Connor Holiak, disputing 3rd place on the track, and they're already into lap traffic. Holiak pulls alongside. Now he's going to try to square it off and get a better run into the rhythm section. Mora lands off the track, then crosses over, and Holiak squeaks through the middle and gets that pass done. So Holiak now into the 3 ride, trying to close up on the Hinders. How about it? Matt Burkeen cruising out front. No pressure, just weaving his way through the lap traffic thus far. Continuing to track Holiak's progress. He has yet to win a race this year in his season of defending the crown. Looks like they were lapping Hollenbeck maybe right there. Go on board with Holiak, see what he's doing here. Going to the inside, double single, getting a ton of drive, pulling up onto the back wheel of Hinders here. And Hinders nearly jumps off the track. corrals it together, gets the 4 into the corner, both of them. Then they both swing wide to get the 3 in here. Holiak a little short on the first one, but able to corral it together. 52 flat for Holiak. He has definitely got his pace working right now. He's feeling the track. Of course, the track is only going to change from here. With the road on now, we're going to see more and more ruts developing as the race goes on. We're just over a third of the way into this 250 main event. Big ruts developing out of that corner. The whoops are getting a little cupped out. We got riders down in the corner here, and that is Brett Powers as Hinders is trying to put him a lap down. Holiak coming with him, and he's going to try to go down the inside. If he doesn't land on the back of Hinders, which he does, and that allows nobody to go through, but Haley is there now. He is coming. Oh, and then Haley makes the same mistake he did before. He lands on the back of Medina, just like he landed on the back of Burkeen. Oh, Hinders down. Hinders crashing out a second. He is going to get up still in the number 3 spot for the time being. But he's got a lot of people right in front of him. Just trying to squeak on by Medina here, and then can't quite tell who the number on that is right there, but he gets around him as well. So it's Burkeen now using these inside lines in the whoops, more and more lap traffic as Holiak moves to second. Hinders is third. Your points leader Jack Haley runs in the 4 spot. Mora in 5th, Mills in 6th, Fisher 7th, Mahan in a battle with Phil Bull for 8th. Then 10th right now is Josh Williams after winning the heat race earlier. Devin Davis holds down the 11th spot. Alana Solis right behind him in 12th. Owen Hillman 13th, Craig Richards 14th, Tyler Lang in 15th, Dylan Copeland 16th, Brett Powers is in 17th, Ivan Medina is 18th, Peter Like is 19th, Alex Cunningham is 20th, about to go into 19th, 21st for Batchelot, and Holland Beck has called it an evening. That is what your field looks like as we run. Burkeen, Holiak, and now Haley moves up into the 3 spot, and he is actually starting to reel back in Holiak, go on board with Haley for a lap. It's like Holiak kind of has fallen a bit out of that groove that he had. Not feeling as comfortable, maybe. This is usually the point in the race where we see Haley really turn it on, and it looks like that's starting to work for him. Ooh, off the track. Gets back on safely. So he's still doing the tap line, whereas Holiak's able to cut under and double single through that section, and now Holiak makes a huge mistake. Haley's going to get the quad into the corner. If he doesn't land on him, he's going through, and he gets that spot and just gets the 3, and he's down, and he's off the bike. He was trying to get away from Holiak as quickly as he could. Holiak was not going to get the 3-3-3 line, so Haley kind of bites himself there. How about Jake Fisher running in the 4 spot right now? A little bit of pressure from Mora, but Fisher's putting on a solid ride for the Rocky Mountain ATV MC machine. Mora looking for an inside move, but Fisher comes over. He shuts the door. It's starting to get so rough coming into that corner. I really feel like we're going to see more and more guys switching to the inside as we work our way into the second half of this main event. Mora right on Jake Fisher, but Fisher holding strong. Mora's got all kinds of style and makes the pass and makes it stick despite getting all out of sorts. Then we got Mills, Williams, and Mahan all kind of in a mix as well. Oh, Mora goes down and he takes Mahan with him. Here comes Hinders to go around Mahan. Who's that in the mix there? Must be a lap down. Matt Burkeen not out of the woods just yet, as Holiak has started to close it back down. Only 4.6 second lead right now. So Burkeen may have ran into some issues. And Burkeen still struggling, not able to get the line he wants through this rhythm section. Meanwhile, Holiak nails it. So before we get into a potential battle for the lead, which right now his teammate is holding him up badly. Copeland finally lets him through. We're going to do a quick little run through the field, brought to you by the fine folks at Squid Squad Clothing, new sponsor for the MXS EMF crew. So Matt Burkeen, your current race leader, there he goes. Connor Holiak is coming in second. We'll be sure to latch back onto that battle soon. That's Tyler Lang a lap down. Third place, not quite, that's Ivan Medina, also a lap down. Third place right here is your points leader, Jack Haley. Lap down for Owen Hillman. A lap down for Brett Powers. That is Daniel Mills in fourth, I'm pretty sure. Peter Like also a lap down. Man, there's a lot of riders a lap down. This is Jacob Hubbard in fifth, Ryan Mahan in sixth. Cunningham, I think a lap down, and then seventh for Mora. Eighth for Solis, ninth for Hinders, 10th for Williams, 11th for Richards, and then 12th for Phil Bull. And now your race leader is Holiak. We've lost Burkeen. We missed the pass for the lead. And Holiak, who was battling with Hinders for second at one point, just put him a lap down. These guys are really quickly working through lappers. So Holiak leads from Burkeen, and they have a pretty big gap on Haley, so I would say it's down to these two for this victory. Lappers all over the track, and Burkeen almost gets into a crashing Jeremy Hinders. He's got Craig Richards right in front of him, and he seems like he's kind of struggling with that 3 into the rhythm, although he gets it this time. So Holiak has kind of gapped it out a little bit, and it seems like he's getting through lappers a little bit cleaner at the moment. Solis moves out of the way. 378, I really want to say Batchlet, but I'm not 100% sure that's right. So how about it? Holiak, your defending champion, had to go through the LCQ tonight, but right now it is looking really good for him to pick up this win. 2 minutes and a lap to go. And right now, Burkeen has absolutely nothing for him, speed-wise or other. Keeps making mistakes. In fact, if he's not too careful here, he risks falling into the clutches of Jack Haley, who is looking to all but extend his points lead here. Holiak is not second in the championship. In fact, second in the championship entering was Noah Baker. Haley had a 40-point lead on Baker, and Baker, I don't believe, is having the night he wanted in this main event. Edward Mora was third in the championship. He was 42 points down. And to give you an idea where Holiak was, Holiak 15th in points entering this one. Had only finished inside of the top 10 once all year long, and is now leading and coming to 2 laps to go next time by the looks of it. And Burkeen's still on the struggle bus a little bit. So 2 to go for Holiak. Holiak getting out of shape in the... Oh, Burkeen is down. Oh, and Haley's down in the same corner, but Burkeen has got Batchlet on top of him. And wow-wee, there's lappers everywhere. That is Medina and, oh my gosh, Davis as Medina almost gets landed on Haley, trying to get around Burkeen, who got on the track a little sideways, and now Haley gets around him for second. So this is all going to secure a pretty simple race victory for Holiak, but behind him it is absolute chaos right now. Haley has moved into second, which means he should extend his championship lead. I'll tell you what though, Holiak, he is going to lap up to, he has already lapped 5th place. Holiak, your race leader, is maybe going to lap up to 4th here tonight. This is insane. Look at, he's getting to Mills here. Mills is about to go a lap down in 4th place. That is incredible. Meanwhile, the battle for second is still on, and I'd imagine might still be on coming to the line. next time by. Burkeen losing a little bit of time this lap. How about it? Connor Holiak has put 4th place a lap down. There's only 3 guys still on the lead lap. That is insane. But Holiak looks like he might have found last year's form a little bit this weekend, as tonight's winner is going to be Connor Holiak in the 250 East class. St. Louis belongs to the number 1. Behind him, number 1 in points right now, Jack Haley, like I said, is going to do nothing but extend his points lead here. It was over Noah Baker. I'm sure that's going to change hands tonight. But Haley is really putting a stamp on this field as we head into the closing stages of this season. With a 2nd place tonight, Burkeen finished 1.8 behind him in 3rd. And as mentioned, everybody else a lap down. Mora, Mills, Fisher, Copeland, Bull, Solis, Richards, Lang, Mahan, Hinners, Hillman, Powers. He's going to pick up a 15th. Williams, your heat race winner, is 16th. Ivan Medina in 17th. Devin Davis rage quitting out of here in 18th. 19th for Cunningham. 20th for Like. And 21st for Batchlett. Let's see, did cuts change a thing? Looks like Phil Bull got a spot on Copeland. And that was it. Wow, wow, wow. What a 250 main event. But, my fine friends, we still have one more race to go. 450 main event coming up next in St. Louis. No Jesse Mullins tonight. He was suspended for 1 week after an illegal track reentry at Daytona. Of course, there was the drama. Alexis Leclerc protesting him 7 times and was successful on one of them. That was the one that got him the 1 week suspension. So it's down to Colton Mitchell versus Alexis Leclerc for this championship. We have 7 rounds left to go, including tonight. And there are only 3 points between those two at the front of the field. So this is really a 2-man battle in this 450 class. And the winner of the race tonight probably is going to take a big step towards making this his series moving forward. All right. We got Siebold, Klein, Turley, Mitchell, Leitzel, Young, Eagland, Lewis, Cohenauer, Hughes, Janis, Dickerson, Young, Holm, Collins, Chapman, Blakely, Leclerc, Ritzler, Shipley, and Smith lining up. Just want to confirm I saw Mitchell. Yes, I did. So Colton Mitchell, 3 points behind Leclerc. Whew. This is going to be quite the interesting 450 main event. I really don't know what's going to happen. There are some fires burning between these guys. Some tempers flaring as we move into the second half of this season. And it's all about to kick off in one giant 20-minute plus 1 lap fireball. Sit back and enjoy this show, because this is about to be a good one from St. Louis. It is time for the 11th round of the MotoOption Supercross Series. The 450 main event is set to go. Let's drop the gate. Huge jump for Siebold, and actually, it was Mitchell who got pinched, And through the first corner, it is Seabolt leading from Leclerc. And a big crasher on the outside. Couldn't see who that was, but it's Seabolt followed by Leclerc and Klein. And look at Leclerc already T-boning Seabolt for the race lead. So Klein is going to jump alongside and try to make the pass on him. Ends up having to tuck back underneath. Russ Chapman is also in the mix. I told you Leclerc was fired up tonight. T-bones the race leader right off the bat. So Chapman coming through, he's going to want to stick up probably for his teammate Seabolt and go after Leclerc. He's going to make the pass on Klein, but he's going down at the end of the whoops. So Klein gathers it up, and Seabolt somehow, despite getting T-boned, is still inside of the top 5. He's right behind Dickerson and Lewis. Gets around Dickerson, now has Lewis, or I'm sorry, that's Devin Ryan. I don't know why I said Tyler Lewis. Devin Ryan in front of him. And it's Sean Klein behind Alexis Leclerc leading this thing. So Leclerc continues to lead. He is going to do everything he can to get away. He does not want to leave the opportunity open for these guys to get in there and rough him up. He is making absolutely no friends anymore. It is all to the wall here for Leclerc. I'll tell you what, though, you got to keep an eye here on Sean Klein. He kept Leclerc honest the whole heat race. Ended up only 2 seconds back of him. They started together, they stayed together, and they finished together. And now Klein is going to try to keep Leclerc in his sights after a podium effort last week at Daytona. He is not letting him go. And I'll tell you what, Jeremy Seabolt is probably your fastest rider on track right now. 51.9 last time by. Let's see what he does this time. He wants to get to Leclerc. A 50.8. Let's check the times up front. 51.2, 51.1, and a 50.8. Seabolt is pissed. He wants a little piece of Leclerc, maybe a lot of piece of Leclerc. He is not taking no for an answer. And another thing to think about here is Seabolt, Mitchell, Chapman. These guys are all teammates. Leclerc has really no friends out there. We know McLeod is racing tonight, but that's it. No more iLab racers out there besides Leclerc. And Seabolt able to get around Klein, who made a mistake, and Seabolt is absolutely ripping right now. And, oh man, he is going to get to Leclerc in a hurry, I think. I know Seabolt wants to win this race, but I think if there's anything else he wants to do is he wants to get some payback on Leclerc for that T-bone on the first lap of the race. .51.1 versus a 51.5, so Seabolt's still going a little bit faster than Leclerc. Not quite fast enough yet. What I'm really curious to see is as this track breaks down, which so far it seems to have broken down a lot tonight, how Leclerc reacts to that. We know he's not necessarily very good when the track gets super rough. We've seen it earlier this year. He wasn't that great last week at Daytona despite the issues with Mullins. So how does he handle this track breaking down, getting some really gnarly braking bumps? The whoops are getting really cupped out, which could be a problem for him and his setup. Sean Klein trying to stick with Seabolt. Then Devin Ryan having a great ride right now in the 4 spot. Adam Holm just got Dickerson for 5th. 7th for Ritzler. Chapman in 8th. Fresquez is 9th. And then Colton Mitchell in 10th. So Mitchell has to do a lot more than what he is doing right now to keep this championship interesting moving forward. So Leclerc continues to lead from Seabolt. Gap staying fairly constant right now, not much fluctuation. Seabolt can see him, and I think that's all the motivation he needs to keep clawing this thing away. And one thing that's about to happen real quick because of the pace of the front runners is lappers. Lappers are already becoming a bit of a factor. I just saw Leclerc got around one of the relaxed tire riders. That is, I believe, Shipley, honestly, going a lap down. Or maybe somebody else. Who's 22nd right now? Tyler Lewis. So it was Lewis. My apologies to Shipley. Tyler Lewis, the first runner to go a lap down. Not even 5 minutes into the main event yet. Bit of a hang up in the corner in the background for Sean Klein. Yeah, I think Leclerc is struggling in the whoops already. He just lost a good chunk of time there to Seabolt. Seabolt now down to 2.2 back. Tyler Lewis moving out of the way. Ooh, Seabolt jumps off track. Wow, what a save. Somehow able to keep that bike from going completely off the side of the course. So let's take a look at Leclerc in the whoops. Like I said, they're getting really cupped out and really fast too because everybody's swinging wide and hitting the left side of him. So he may switch up his line if that's going to benefit him, but listen to him here for a second. Yeah, he's kind of hopping through him. Last lap I heard him go through him and it sounded like he was lugging it, which is usually a sign that he's kind of trying to get the bike to straighten out. Seabolt is coming, I'm telling you. Oh, that's a rider down. Causes Seabolt some issues. Couldn't quite catch the number of that. But Seabolt able to not get hung up too long for that. Leclerc's next lapper that he is going to hit looks like it might be Reed Young. Oh, he's getting kicks. It's getting nervous time. I think Seabolt just switched up his line. It looked like he entered that corner a lot wider. I'm really curious about these guys trying to go down the inside into the whoops now. We're not even 7 minutes in and those whoops are already getting really cupped out. This might be a situation where these guys start jumping through them later in the race, honestly. Just want to point out in chat for someone who just called me out for not running half the speed these guys can run, I beat Leclerc straight up in an outdoor moto before. Did you? Didn't think so. Yeah, so Seabolt changed up his line. He's going inside in that corner. Looks like Klein's kind of losing touch. And now Devin Ryan just went down, so that's actually going to allow home through. That is not Jonathan Hughes on a lead lap right now. Oh man, lappers splitting in the air. That was Finn Collins. And I'm not sure who that other rider is. Oh, Collins getting swapped in the whoops. And Seabolt is getting hit! Oh, from the side! Who is his rider? Lapped riders causing problems. It is Leitzel getting into the side of Seabolt. So Leclerc gets a bit of a breather now. Seabolt was right on him right before that happened. He actually had a nose on him coming down the inside before the whoops. And now Seabolt makes another mistake. Russ Chapman is trying to keep Sean Klein from getting away a little bit here. I think Chapman actually has the speed to run Leclerc down up front. Well, not run him down, but run his pace if he were there. But at the moment, he's not close enough. Seabolt's 6 seconds down. Look at Chapman. He is all over Sean Klein here. Oh, Chapman, big mistake. Tries to salvage it, but man, he was right on Klein, and then you can see the gap that makes. Just making one small mistake in the rhythm section, he came up short, and then he had to 2-2, or basically 3-2, I guess, out of that section. Whereas Klein did not make the same mistake, able to go quad out. Different lines again, so that inside line I think is really developing as Chapman now slides it down on the outside. You can see how deep that inside rut is before the whoops. Let's go on board with Leclerc here for a second. I want to see if he's changing up his line yet before the whoops, but I also want to see what he's doing. He's catching Turley and Cohenauer, and can't see who this is down right there. That might have been one of the MV Films rider, Lang maybe? So Turley moves out of the way. Leclerc still not changing up his lines. He goes outside here. Let's see what he does in the whoops. Yeah, see, he's jumping now. Fourth gear, kind of lugging it through. And it's what I thought would happen with those whoops. They're getting cupped out enough that you can kind of jump through them. They're not really digging out like you would see whoops in real life do, where they get like one defined rut that people are jumping through them in. But he's still kind of able to make it work because there's really big lips developing on each whoop, and he's kind of jumping into those little gaps. Oh, Leclerc's down with the lead. Leclerc down with the lead. That was Cohenauer that was on the outside. I'm not sure if he got together with Cohenauer, but now Leclerc trying to fight back, shows a wheel on Seabolt, and the battle for the lead is on here. 12 minutes in at St. Louis. Leclerc down the inside, nudges Seabolt to the side, and gets the jump. Seabolt is over it. Here we go. Coming into the corner, Leclerc defending his inside. Seabolt swings wide and through the whoops, side by side. And Seabolt gets the pass back. This is only going to help everybody else behind them because they're kind of going back and forth, toying with each other a little bit. So Klein in third might have an opportunity to close in. And now Leclerc gets into the back of Hughes and he's down. So Leclerc having more problems, and there goes Turley gets hung up. That was actually Matthias Janis that was the rider that was down, and actually it's Adam Holm that's coming through. Where is Colton Mitchell? So Mitchell actually, he's up to fifth now. And he's only, well, about 10 seconds back of Leclerc. This could get interesting. And Leclerc continuing to have problems as Janis, he takes Janis down, and Adam Holm had to come to a complete stop in the corner not to hit Janis. So now it's Leclerc having to do the chasing. Seabolt suddenly has a massive lead, and Leclerc finally changes his lineup before the whoops. These guys all kind of like jumping through him, teeter-tottering back and forth a little bit. Man, credit where credit's due. Devin Ryan is having the ride of his life right now, but he's going to get passed by two guys. Oh, Chapman puts him down. So Colton Mitchell and Russ Chapman both go on through. Adam Holm is trying to reel in Leclerc. Man, Seabolt has got such a big lead suddenly. It's about 12 seconds out front. So Leclerc has got to regroup here. Got bit by a little bit of lap traffic. I couldn't really tell what was going on there with Hughes. Hughes kind of just came into the corner, I think maybe too aggressively. I think Leclerc thought he was going to swing wide and let him have the spot, and then Leclerc had nowhere to go and hit him. I'd have to rewatch it to confirm, but it looked kind of weird from our vantage point. So now at the moment, Leclerc's actually gaining 4 points in the championship, so it stretched this thing back out to 7 points, but it could have been a lot gnarlier had Leclerc won and Mitchell stayed back where he was, which was back around 10th. As Seabolt up front leading this thing, is trying to cruise away. Almost 15 minutes into this thing. Leclerc seems like he's regrouped pretty well. I'm going on board with Mitchell here for a second. He's trying to get around Janis and Cohenauer, both putting them a lap down. Oof, a little short on the over-under. Those guys both moving off to the side, so they're doing their part. Good on them. Mitchell ends up going down the far right side of the track. Man, those whoops are getting so cupped. Double-double before the Supercross triple. Just looks like Mitchell's kind of off tonight. Case in the Supercross triple even. Doesn't look like he's really feeling it on this track, which could have been a bad thing. He's got Jeremy Shipley coming with him still, so Shipley has the opportunity to get back by him here. Maybe put a couple more points, or actually just be one more point between Leclerc and Mitchell, and that's exactly what he does. Meanwhile, Seabolt cruising this thing 16 minutes in nearly. Leclerc's still jumping through the whoops from the outside. Got a rider down, that's Dickerson. Adam Holm, podium spot right now. Good ride. Like I said earlier, he entered the night 4th in the championship standings, behind Mullins, who is not racing tonight due to his suspension. Oh, big mistake, and Holm is down. That's actually going to really help Colton Mitchell, because I don't think he was going to get to Holm on raw speed, and now Mitchell's going to jump past Shipley and get him, and then Shipley goes down in the flat corner on the inside. That was a really weird fall. So now Mitchell is limiting the damage between himself and Leclerc, and who knows, another Leclerc crash here, and this could actually get interesting between them. Mitchell, if he stays where he is, for what it's worth, though, the gap would only be 5 points. So Leclerc done his part with regrouping. Kind of seems like he's relaxed a little bit. It looked like he was maybe a little tense with the lead. Now that he doesn't have the pressure of leading the race, he's kind of settled it back in. Mitchell just hasn't looked comfortable all night, but salvaging a 3rd right now. Chapman still has Devin Ryan right behind him. Devin Ryan is just having a fantastic ride here. Can't be said enough. We know Chapman's going to be good. I mean, he's won 8 races this year. But like I said, just impressed with Ryan here. Jeremy Smith also in the mix. Chase Blakely. Let's do a lap through the field when we can. Well, Leclerc makes a small mistake, but keeps it on 2 wheels. 18 minutes into this thing, so we got about maybe 3 laps to go. Seabolt continues to lead. And as he comes through the whoops, we'll do a quick lap through the field to give you an idea of the gaps between people. So Seabolt using that inside line and is continuing to lead the race. It's Eaglin a lap down, Leitzel a lap down, Hughes a lap down, and then Leclerc. Hughes getting all kinds of kicked. Leclerc jumping deep into the whoops. That time he looked really clean through him. Ritzler a lap down, Finn Collins a lap down, and then 3rd place, Colton Mitchell. Oh, he's down! He's down in the whoops on the bottom of your screen here, and he's going to lose a spot to Holm. Kohenauer unlaps himself, Ryan goes through, and Chapman goes through, then Smith is coming. Wow, Mitchell just coughed up a huge points opportunity. Here is Shipley. Just saw Mitchell going around, Chapman in the back. That's Blakely going through. And then your race leader, Seabolt again. So that's been a lap through the field. And just when it looked like things are going well for Mitchell, it all is upside down. And it's really upside down as he's off the bike again. He had just moved his way back into 4th, and there are literally lappers everywhere. Chapman goes up and over the bars and rage quits out of 5th place. So Mitchell's going to get another freebie there. But right now he is in 6th, and he was in 3rd. He's losing a lot more points than he was going to. Seabolt struggling through the rhythm section here. Is actually going to have 2 laps to go because he did not make it to the line in time. Leclerc trying to lap. Chase Blakely goes down. Adam Holm is not going to get there, but this really solidifies Seabolt winning this race. And Seabolt looks like he may have just missed a timing gate. So Leclerc can't afford another fall off, or else he'd fall into the clutches of Holm versus Smith here. Oh, Smith OJ in the triple in. Man, Mitchell's got to get back around Devin Ryan here. He's got a 3 in, 3 by him. No, Devin Ryan chops it off. Mitchell into the back of him. Oh, rider down right behind Leclerc. So here comes white flag. Jeremy Seabolt about to get the white flag. There it is. Nearly 21 minutes in, so he just made it. Oh, Leclerc off the side, almost off the side of the track again. Whew. He's having his moments. He's just got to survive. Holmes still has Smith right behind him. Mitchell is trying so hard to get around Ryan. He might have a move here down the inside. Got him. I think Ryan reacted to Mitchell coming down the inside and had to get off the gas there. Kind of threw him in a little bit of a swap. I don't think Mitchell's going to get to either of those guys, though. So Leclerc makes it through the whoops clean. Seabolt is just trying to survive this chaos. Look at how deep this track is. It got super rutted out and gnarly. But Seabolt, after getting T-boned by Leclerc on the start, survives the chaos, comes through, and Jeremy Seabolt wins the St. Louis Supercross in the 450 class. Now we'll keep an eye on Leclerc. Let's see if he takes it easy or sends a 3 in here. He goes for the 3 in, and he actually went a little long, but able to ride it through clean and into the final corner. Leclerc will take a second, extend his points lead over Colton Mitchell. Oh, and Smith and Holm are both down at the end of the rhythm section. This could be the break Mitchell needed. He's just trying to get to them, but man, oh man, that took way too long. And now, oh, he's going to 3 in, come up short. He might give up the spot to Holm. Man, I don't know what Mitchell was doing right there. That was an absolute disaster. He was just tiptoeing through the rhythm section. He could have got 2 spots, and instead he gets none. He gets 5th. Devin Ryan in 6th, Shipley in 7th, Blakely 8th, Cohenauer 9th, and Turley ends up inside of the top 10. So that was Turley's best showing all year. Ritzler 11th, Eaglin 12th, Janis 13th, Dickerson 14th, Finn Collins in 15th, Leitzel in 16th, maybe. Yep, let's see, Cuts. And Mitchell, yeah, did not get any of those spots back. What a weird night of racing, but congrats to Jeremy Seabolt for coming through and taking the victory out of this one. A great ride for him. Despite the chaos early with Leclerc, was able to come through and take the win. And it is Seabolt, Leclerc, and Smith, your top 3 tonight here from St. Louis. And that is gonna do it for us. So I thank you guys for joining us. Big shout out to Versus PC, MotoOption, FamMX, Race Tech Suspension, MXS EMF, MXS Servers, Squid Squad, and everybody that helps out making these broadcasts possible, and of course the MXS EMF North America MotoOption Supercross Series possible. I thank you guys for tuning in to the St. Louis round. Next week we'll be back for round number 12, which I believe, but I could be wrong, is Indy. Might be wrong. Either way, we'll be back next week for more MotoOption Supercross, and we hope to see you guys then. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.